What's up everyone, it's your boy X-Man87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends review video, and this time what I have for you today is the X-Force Legends Wendigo Build-A-Figure series, Nightcrawler. And before I get into everything, you could please leave a like rating on the video. It'll show your support for my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, stay tuned at the end of the video to see my slideshow of pics. And here he is, the amazing Nightcrawler, Kurt Wagner. I am so freaking excited to have this figure in hand, man. Nightcrawler has been one of my favorite X-Men's of all time. Just remember having the 90s Toy Biz figure of his, and that was so awesome. I did own the Toy Biz Marvel Legends one. Unfortunately, that figure broke, and I knew they were coming out with this one, so I just waited for the updated one to come out. So, unfortunately, I will not have a comparison for that, so I'm sorry, but I will compare him with some other X-Men related figures so you can get an idea of how he scales. First, let's take a look at his accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at Nightcrawler. So, taking a look at the first head sculpt, which is the default head sculpt, that comes already plugged onto the body. As you can see, it's a very young-looking Kurt Wagner. So, very, very young-looking Nightcrawler. Does remind me of the Claremont storyline from 4 to 5 years ago, where he was brought back to life, and he really has that young vibe to him. But, I mean, it looks good. It looks really good. When I first saw the images of it, I was like, I wasn't feeling it as much, but having it in hand now, and just the fact that he comes with 2 other expressions is just great. It makes this figure so much better. Me, with my photography, I love to have expressions to create, capture emotions during certain scenes I want to create. But yeah, this looks good, and as you can see, the paint job on the head right there, you can see that there is comic shading. It has that fuzzy, grainy type of look that the face print technology has. So it looks, I dig it. It looks really good, and it's pretty much, on the most part, this top of the hair, not so much the back, so he only gets it on the front top part of the hair. Taking a look at the second alt head here, this looks really, really good. I love the laughing expression he has here. Looks like he's having a fun time, kicking some ass, or just, the good sense of humor that Nightcrawler has. The teeth came out looking really good. Maybe some missed paint right there, but it's not too bad. It captures the fangs, and that's what I care about. A slight hair gap right there, so that bugs me. I hate seeing some hair gaps, so I'll try to squeeze it in there, but it's not much I can do, really. And that printed looking grainy type of comic shading is at the top of the hair again, and not so much on the back part. And out of all the 3 heads, this is my favorite out of the bunch. It looks awesome, and I love the dark shading on the top, so it definitely has that type of vibe where he's hiding in the dark shadows, and he's just angry. This looks so freaking good. So good. Just taking a look at the fangs there, nice and crisp. The eyebrows came out so good, and you see some good expressions here. I'm using his sword as a pointer. So you can see even some veins coming out of there, man. That's sick. Again, with the comic shading at the top of the head. And now taking a look at his sword, it looks really, really good. Bottom, the hilt is painted in gold, and it's, for the most part, it's a really nice silver paint. So you got a metallic type of sheen to it, whereas the one with Citizen V, man, this is just plain, this is dull as hell. So I did use this in a pic just so that he can have 2 swords, but I will definitely buy another Nightcrawler so I can have 2 swords with matching the same color. But yeah, this sword can definitely fit on the other hand. Might be a little loose, so I just kind of twist it like this, and for the most part, stay sturdy. The sword holding hand hinges up and down, so you can get that nice swordsman-like pose. His last accessory is an alternate open right hand. So this is really good because if you want, you can put this guy in like a, praying pose, because, you know, Nightcrawler is a religious guy, so there we go. That's better. Well, no one prays that angry, I hope not. This is definitely more like it. Now to take a closer look at the paint and the sculpt, as you can see here, for the most part, I want to say this is a new body mold for sure. Definitely the hands and the feet, but for the most part, I want to say this is a new body sculpt, and I really like it. This piece, his whole shoulder guards, I guess you want to call them, or whatever, it's just it's sculpted on, so that's really cool. And some plastic chipping right there, but as you can see, this sticks out a little bit, so I don't know, that might bother some people. Doesn't bother me as much. It does look like one of his abs are popping out, but again, looks really good, really good. We'll get to the tail, don't worry about it. But yeah, looking at the hands, sorry, my lights are real bright, so it's hard to get a good look at them. But the red paint is solid here for the most part. Yeah, it's pretty good. Looking at the legs, nice sculpt again, Nightcrawler butt. And this figure has some great looking toes. Those Nightcrawler toes look freaking cool. Nice sculpt on them. And here's a look at the back toe right there. So as you see, pegals at the bottom of the feet. Unfortunately, no toe articulation for this guy. The white and the red paint are solid, so I have no issues there, and I'm happy about that. So no paint bleeding there. And now to talk about the tail, which was a big letdown when Hasbro announced that it's not a bendy tail, it's not bendy wire, so definitely a wasted opportunity on Hasbro's part right there. They could have really, you know, killed it with a bendy tail. One thing that I loved about that Toy Biz figure is the bendy tail feature. That was so cool. Especially with that bendy tail, I had him on my display, always hanging on like a pole with the X-Men, you know, so he can look like he was praying upside down. I always loved doing that, but now with this guy, I couldn't. I did pull it off in one of my pictures, though, so you'll see at the end of the photos, I was able to port this into something. It wasn't easy, but yeah. Gonna find a way to make it work. And you can't make it work as if he's choking someone with his tail. You just gotta be creative on your part, you know. Find a way to make it work. For the most part, the tail just moves around to the side, but it looks good either way. You get a pose out of Nightcrawler, you're gonna get a good looking tail no matter what. I will not take that away from this figure. It's a nice looking tail. Just if you can just forget about the bendy wire, put that aside, it's still a nice looking tail. And now to cover articulation with Nightcrawler, his head moves up that much, so very good movement right there. Very great range. His head moves down, left, right, some pivot, shoulders move that far up. This will definitely hinder the movement. His got the butterfly shoulder rock joint, and you got the arms that move all around, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. You got the wrist swivel, wrist hinge. His ab crunch moves that far down and that far back. Waist swivel. His legs move that far apart, so, you know, get a good split out of it. I don't think it's a full split, but a great split nonetheless. His legs move that far high and that far back. You got leg rotation, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, heel to the tail. And you have the ankles that move up, down, and awesome ankle pivot. No toe articulation, no problem. This guy can still get the job done when it comes to nice posing. And his tail twirls all around, so whatever direction you'd like, just keep twirling. For some comparisons, here he is next to his mother Mystique. Please give us an Azazel, please. Here he is next to Rogue. Here he is next to a fellow member of the X-Men, Wolverine. And here he is next to Beast, Blues Brothers. My overall thoughts on this figure is that this Nightcrawler is a great figure. Yes, I understand that it might not have some of the articulation that Toy Biz has, such as the toe articulation, the bendy tail, the ball-jointed hips on the Toy Biz one did give this guy more range, you know, to do those crazy leg poses, even though you won't get it with this guy. I was hoping for something like with Beast, where he had the drop down thighs, but he does not have that. I was hoping for that so he can, you know, get some more range with his legs. It's a great figure, and I don't know, man, could be my favorite figure out of the wave. I was having a ton of fun with this guy. You know, the one thing I really love about this over the Toy Biz version is the alternate heads. That is huge, man, because I love Nightcrawler to have multiple expressions, especially when expressing it through action figure photography. Overall, just an amazing figure. He's definitely gonna fit in with the new Hasbro X-Men. I just absolutely love this guy, so I am giving him a rating of total awesomeness because this figure is that damn good. Anyway, guys, if you are not following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me. Have a link in the description below. Get your figures at Big Bad Toy Store. I'll put the link in the description below as well. Leave a like since that helps out my videos a ton. Comment, we'll chat about it. Share and subscribe. Definitely hit the notification bell so you always get my reviews. And as always, enjoy the pics at the end of the video. See you on the next review. Peace, peace.